She has a master's degree, runs a successful business, and can analyze complex problems at work. But when it comes to dating, she keeps choosing men who are emotionally unavailable, commitment phobic, or just plain wrong for her. Intelligence has nothing to do with it. Let me show you the real psychology behind why smart women keep making the same relationship mistakes. This isn't about blaming women or saying there's something wrong with you. This is about understanding the psychological patterns that hijack your decision-making in relationships. Patterns that have nothing to do with your IQ and everything to do with how your brain is wired. The fixer complex. Smart women are problem solvers. At work, you identify issues and fix them. You're rewarded for seeing potential and making it reality. Then you meet a man with potential. He's charming but unreliable, talented but unmotivated, sweet but emotionally unavailable. Your brain sees a project, and you're good at projects. Here's the trap. People aren't problems to solve. That man isn't going to change because you love him enough, support him enough, or are patient enough. You're not entering a relationship. You're entering a rehabilitation program where you're both therapist and prisoner. Psychology research shows that intermittent reinforcement, when someone is sometimes amazing and sometimes terrible, is more addictive than consistent positive behavior. Every time he shows a glimpse of his potential, your brain gets a dopamine hit. You think, see, I was right about him. But those glimpses aren't progress. They're bait keeping you hooked. The fix: stop dating potential, date reality. If he's not the man you need him to be right now, today, without any changes, he's not your person. Mistaking chemistry for compatibility. That electric connection, the butterflies, the obsessive thinking, it feels like love at first sight. But often, it's trauma recognition. Your nervous system is attracted to what's familiar, not what's healthy. If you grew up with an emotionally distant parent, inconsistent affection, or unpredictable love, your brain coded that as normal. Now, when you meet someone who triggers those same patterns, your subconscious says, yes, this feels like home, except home was dysfunctional. The man who's steady, consistent, and emotionally available, he might feel boring. Not because he is boring, but because he doesn't activate your anxiety response. Your nervous system mistakes anxiety for attraction and calm for lack of chemistry. This is why smart women often friend zone the good guys. Your brain is literally wired to chase the familiar pattern, even when that pattern hurt you. The fix: learn to recognize the difference between chemistry and anxiety. Real chemistry with a healthy person builds over time. It doesn't peak in week 2 and then become a roller coaster of highs and lows. The scarcity mindset. You're successful, attractive, intelligent, but you still believe good men are rare. So when one shows interest, even if he's mediocre or treats you poorly, part of you thinks, maybe this is as good as it gets. This scarcity mindset makes you tolerate behavior you'd never accept from a friend, an employee, or anyone else in your life. He cancels last minute. He's busy. He won't define the relationship after 6 months. He needs time. He checks out other women in front of you. Boys will be boys. You've lowered your standards while calling it being realistic or not being too picky. But there's a massive difference between having unrealistic expectations and having no standards at all. The psychology: high-achieving women often struggle in relationships because they apply different rules. At work, you have standards and boundaries. In dating, you're afraid those same standards make you difficult or demanding. So you accept crumbs and call it compromise. The fix: your standards aren't too high. Your willingness to ignore them is too high. Write down your non-negotiables, then actually enforce them. Confusing love with proving your worth. Here's the painful truth. If you grew up feeling like you had to earn love through achievement, you're now attracted to men who make you prove your worth. The emotionally unavailable man is perfect for this, because you can never quite win his full affection. There's always more to prove. You're unconsciously recreating the dynamic where love is conditional. If you're just smart enough, pretty enough, cool enough, understanding enough, then he'll finally choose you fully. Except he won't, because the problem was never you. It's that you're trying to earn something that should be freely given. This is why smart women stay in situationships for years. You're so focused on winning his approval that you forget to ask if he even deserves yours. The fix. Notice when you're working harder to make someone like you than they're working to keep you. That's not love. That's auditioning for a role you already deserve without trying. Ignoring red flags. Because of emotional investment, you've been dating him for months. You've introduced him to friends. You've imagined a future together. Then the red flags start appearing. Or more accurately, you finally start seeing the ones that were there all along. But now you're invested. The sunk cost fallacy kicks in. I've already put in so much time and energy. Maybe if I just stay a little longer, it'll work out. So you ignore your gut, rationalize the problems, and stay in something that stopped serving you months ago. Smart women do this because they pride themselves on not being quitters. You finish what you start. You don't give up easily. Persistence is how you achieved everything else in life. But relationships aren't projects with deadlines. Sometimes the smartest thing you can do is walk away. The fix, past investment, is not a reason to continue. Ask yourself, if you met him today, exactly as he is right now, would you choose him? If the answer is no, it's time to go. The real reason this keeps happening. Intelligence doesn't protect you from emotional patterns formed in childhood. Your PhD doesn't override your attachment style. Your corner office doesn't heal your fear of abandonment. Smart women aren't choosing wrong men because they're stupid. They're choosing wrong men because their emotional needs weren't met as children. So they're attracted to familiar dysfunction. They've been taught to be accommodating and nurturing above all else. They fear being alone more than being unhappy. They believe their worth is tied to being chosen rather than doing the choosing. None of this is your fault, but it is your responsibility to break the pattern, breaking the cycle. Stop dating for a while, not as punishment, as a reset. Use that time to understand your patterns. What does your type have in common? What do you get from these relationships besides pain? What need are you trying to meet? Then, date differently. Choose the man who's available, consistent, and interested, even if he doesn't give you butterflies immediately. Give the good guy a real chance. Your nervous system needs time to recalibrate and learn that safety can be attractive. You're not broken. You're not stupid. You're just repeating patterns that once served a purpose, but no longer do. The same intelligence that built your career can rebuild your relationship patterns. Once you understand what you're actually dealing with, stop choosing men who make you question your worth. Start choosing men who make you feel at peace. That's not settling. That's finally choosing yourself. If this hit home, subscribe for psychology that actually helps you break destructive patterns. Comment below which pattern resonated most with you. You deserve better. And deep down, you already know it.